Question 17. Naz buys a fridge from a shop for £189. The cost of delivery is proportional to the distance from the shop, and for 15 miles the cost is £9. It would really help if they told us what 1 mile cost, because if something is proportional, then it means that every additional mile will always cost the same. So this is what we're probably going to have to work out in this problem. Naz lives 24 miles from the shop. So once we've worked out what 1 mile costs, we can just multiply it by 24. Is the cost more than £200? And we have to show our working. So our overall goal is to work out what the total cost would be and see if it's over 200. To start off with, let's see if we can work out what 1 mile would cost. So for 1 mile, we would take the £9 that we know it has cost for 15 miles and divide it between those 15. By dividing by 15, we will work out what one of those miles would cost. To help here, I'm going to automatically add in the pennies, our 2 decimal places. Now 15 into 9 doesn't go, the number's far too big. So that 9 will carry over into the tenths column and we end up with 90. 15 into 90, if you can't do that, you can just write down to the side 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. So that goes in exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. There's nothing left over, no remainders. 15 into 0 is nothing. So what this tells us is that 1 mile costs £0.60 or 60 pence. Now we know that, we can work out what 24 miles would cost. For 24 miles, I'm going to turn this into pence because I think it's much easier to multiply with whole numbers. That's 24 multiplied by 60. Whatever method you're comfortable with, use this, because in a non-calculator paper you should still always show you're working. Even if it doesn't remind you, show your methods. If you've done it in your head, at least make sure you've written down these calculations. But 20 and 4 multiplied by 60, 6 times 2 is 12, 2 zeros, 4 times 60 is 24 with 1 0, meaning we have a total here of 1440. Putting that back into pounds means for 24 miles we're going to end up with £14.40. If we add this on to what he originally started with, Naz paid £189 for the fridge, and has now paid an additional £14.40. Adding these on together, keeping the pounds in line, keeping the columns separate. 0 add 0 is 0, 0 add 4 is 4. Decimal point stays in line, so we now deal with the pounds. 9 add 4 is 3, carry the 1. In the tens column here, we've got 8, 9 and 10, so 0, carry the 1, which means he would pay a grand total of £203.40. So to answer the question, is the total more than £200? The answer is yes. It's £3.40 more than £200. There's all our working to prove how much it cost, and we've made sure that we've actually answered the question. Never forget to go back and double check that you've answered the bit that the question asks. That should be enough for 4 marks.